If you're looking for a 3-row luxury SUV without breaking the bank, this Buick is definitely something to look into. At $77,000 as spec'd here, it's not cheap, but it is more affordable than, well, the XT6, the Lexus TX, and many others. So let me show you everything you need to know about this vehicle, because I love so much about it, but there is one downfall I do want to tell you about. In terms of the looks, this is the top Avenir trim, so we do have a few more chrome pieces on it. It has that Buick front end, 22-inch wheels here on the side. It's relatively plain here on the side, but I do appreciate them actually adding the proximity door locks on the rear. Not something a lot of other manufacturers are doing. Pretty clean, pretty simple, but that's what we love about Buick. It doesn't have to be in your face. It's just elegance all around. And because it's the Avenir trim, the taillights is not red like the lower trims. I just love that look. Opening the tailgate, we get 23 cubic feet of space, which is actually quite a decent amount. And if you just fold up the floor here, and we get a little bit more space. Underneath that is where you find your compact spare tire, but in here, this is actually quite vast. Big enough that myself at 5'11", well, I can fit in here decently well. It's no minivan, but this is, well, quite a big space for a 3-row SUV. And of course, if you do need more space, you can fold down the third row with just the buttons here on the side, and that expands to 57 cubic feet. And if you need even more than that, there is a button here that can fold down the second row. But unfortunately, the second row can't power up, only the third row can. But let me show you how much space there is inside. Getting access to the third row isn't difficult. The doors open nice and wide, and if you have a car seat, well, of course you can squeeze through right here in the center, as there's no center console. But as long as it's installed using the lower anchors, well, it can fold forward with the seat in place. Then you get access to the third row. Once in the back, it's not too bad. 5'11" with plenty of headroom. Legroom's all right. Putting my leg here in the center is definitely more helpful. I do have USB charge ports on the side, cup holders, and even vents on the ceiling. It's not a bad place to be. While there are definitely 3 seats here, you're probably better off just putting 2 people back here. But let's move up a row. All right, so the space for the second row is very accommodating. Headroom is good, legroom is good. This seat is all the way back, so that helps a little bit there, but I can move it forward, so if whoever's in the back is complaining, I can let them have a little bit more space. I do have my HVAC controls right here in the center, USB-C ports, heated seats, air vents on the top. It's nice. The only thing that's missing here is probably like baby shades on the side, but that's really it. If you're thinking of carrying kiddos in here, I will have a separate video linked in the description showing you exactly how well child seats fit inside. But essentially fitting child seats in the center row here is not going to be a problem. Third row is definitely going to be a little tight. You're probably going to be fitting maximum 4 seats in here. So any more than 4 kiddos, you're probably going to be looking for something a little bit bigger than this. But let's move up front. All right, so as for the front seats here, they're heated, they're cool, they're massaging. Now, while that does check all the boxes, the heating and cooling is fine. The massaging, you can't really call this a massaging seat. It just moves back here a little bit. It's nowhere near as good as something from Mercedes or BMW. But this is also like $50,000 less than the comparable 3-row from those manufacturers. In front of me, heated steering wheel. I do like this Buick design. While it is the standard like GM layout, the buttons are all the same. It looks a little bit more elegant than other GM products. Same thing with the display behind. This curved display is absolutely beautiful. The graphics on it is nice, and the use of the space is good as well. What I like about it the most is, well, how integrated it all is. It's so seamless. Google Maps is there for whenever you want to use that, or if you have an iPhone like I do, I have CarPlay, and that just spans the entire dash with all my CarPlay information. I even have a heads-up display that can give me turn-by-turn directions as well. It's a very elegant solution, and because of the curved display, it doesn't look like it's just tacked on like some other manufacturers do. You do get some physical controls for your HVAC right here. They're the bare minimum, which is really what you're looking for. And you do have a volume dial that's really out of place right here in the center. I kind of wish there's a few more buttons for like track forward and back or something, just something more than just a volume knob right here in the center. But it's a nice interior. The materials, how everything is put together, and just how sturdy this is. Like right here, this is a floating console and it doesn't wiggle. It doesn't. It just proves that, well, GM can make better cars than, well, Mercedes can right now, because you definitely can't do something like that in a Mercedes interior. It's just, maybe it's the color, but this is such a nice, fabulous interior. It feels so much more upscale than any Buicks in recent times. Like this perforated leather that's on the dash, it's absolutely stunning. And then of course we get to the one downfall, the powertrain. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater on 4 cylinders and turbo power. I get why they have to do this, but the V6, I do miss it for the sound, not the power. This 2.5 liter turbo 4 makes 328 horsepower and 326 pound-feet of torque. Front wheel drive is standard in the US, and here in Canada, it is all-wheel drive as standard with an 8-speed automatic. Those figures, completely sufficient. It's just the sound. Now, this is like a luxury SUV, and that just doesn't sound like a luxury SUV should. The 4-cylinder, it's just a bit more rackety than you want in a vehicle like this. Once you're cruising, it's absolutely fine. Light throttle applications, and it's also okay. But anytime you need to slow down and get going again, you're just reminded that it's a 4-cylinder under the hood. While Buick has certainly added more sound deadening in here to make the cabin that much more quiet, and it's very noticeable, especially if you drive like a Traverse and this back to back, it's just, the engine needs to be a smoother sound for it to, well, just coexist with this interior. Like sitting in here, I feel like $1,000,000, and then I hear the engine, that significantly drops just the price point of this vehicle. It really does. Now, don't get me wrong. There are other manufacturers like Lexus that's been putting 4 cylinders in their, well, TX, which is the Grand Highlander. And that doesn't sound great neither. But this just feels and sounds more tinny than that. And, well, the TX that I drove had the hybrid, which means that at least I didn't always have to hear it, which was nice. This, unfortunately, I always do. What's nice is, like I said, once you're on the highway, once you're cruising, you don't hear any of that. The ride is just supple. It's exactly what a Buick should be. It doesn't flop around all over the place. The Avenir does get adaptive suspension as well, so it helps with the ride, although I haven't driven the base model to tell you how that will compare. What's nice is, of course, like many GM products, you can enable Super Cruise, and you press a button and it basically just drives for you. And with that level of tech, it's just so much more convenient for those day-to-day drives where you have to go to and from the office and you're stuck in traffic. Well, you don't have to worry about that. Let Super Cruise take the wheel and just drive. And that's what's so amazing about this product overall. Yes, it's 77,000 Canadian dollars as equipped. If you don't need Super Cruise, that goes down to like 73,000. Without it, the adaptive cruise does work quite well still, but it's not Super Cruise. And I understand you have to have subscription with it, but it's just one of those techs that right now it makes a whole lot of sense. I'm not sure in the future, there may be better things coming, but right now, this makes a whole lot of sense. And for the price, it makes a whole lot of sense as well, because it's very similar price to the Infiniti QX60, which I don't think has quite as nice of an interior as this, and it's not as user-friendly. Same thing with the MDX. The MDX is, well, you put anyone that's, well, of this age that's supposed to be driving these vehicles, the MDX, that infotainment, while yes, it's now a touchscreen, it's still not there. This is definitely a whole lot better. And of course, there's a Lexus TX, which starts at about the same price, but it goes way up. It's like $86,000 if you want to add like all the stuff onto it. It's a lot of money for a Lexus product. This, I mean, for the price, you just can't go wrong. Just muffle that engine somehow, and this is the best 3-row SUV. The best, hands down. If the engine was muffled, but since it's not, just need something. In any case, let me know what your thoughts are on the Buick in the comment section below. Let me know what do you think about Buick as a brand? I honestly think it's the brand to look out for because their products are really, really good. Well, yeah, let me know in the comment section. Like the video if you do, subscribe if you want to see more, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. Take care.